Welcome to Easy Learning. Today we're going to study the MBA 4th semester Emerging Technologies in a Global Business Environment. We're going to study the UNIT 3, the New Age Economies. We're going to cover a topic from behavioral economics and the sharing economic. Let's start. Behavioral economics. The behavioral economics combines the element of economics and the psychology to understand how and why people behave the way they do in the real world. It relates to the economic decision making process of an individual and institutions. It differs from the new classical economies, which assume that the most people have a well defined preference and make a well informed, self interested decision based on their preference. Behavioral economics is often related to the normative economics. It draws on a psychology and the economics to explore why people sometimes make a irrational decision and why and how their behavior does not follow the prediction of the economic models. The example of behavioral economics. The government regulation, taxes, and the free market policies should be clubbed with the nudge effect to increase the efficacy of a policy making. If it is implemented diligently, then the Indian policy making will be transformed. From Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao to Beti Aapki Dhan Lakshmi or Vijay Lakshmi. From Swachh Bharat to Sundar Bharat. From give it up for the LPG subsidy to think about the subsidy, and from tax evasion to the tax compliance. Objective of behavioral economics. The goal of behavioral economics is to understand why human makes the decision they do. The second objective is there are usually outcomes that are the best for the people, and many times the people do not choose the outcomes. Then the third one is it incorporate the features of the human psychology into a new classical economics theory. Combine neoclassical economics with the human psychology. So these are the three objectives of a behavioral economics. Now the nudging. Nudge theory is a concept in a behavioral economics decision making behavioral policy, the social psychology, the consumer behavior, and the related behavior science. In a behavior economics, a nudge is the way to manipulate people's choice to lead them to make a specific decision. The purpose of a adaptive design of a decision environment choice architecture as way to influence the behavior and the decision making of a group of or individuals. Nudging contract with the other way to achieve a compliance such as education, legislation, or enforcement. For example, putting a fruit at the eye level or near to the cash register at a high school cafeteria is an example of nudge to get a student to choose the healthy options. Now, the choice architecture. The choice architecture refers to the scenario in which the environment in which the someone must make a decision have been carefully designed to try and influence the decision. There is a variety of a way in which the environment can be designed. The altering the default option. The most consumers stick with the default option. So producers should think about what option they should most like consumer to use, providing immediate feedback on a choice. They are the made in order to make a consumer reconsider their design. Altering the number of options available or changing the wording in a order to consciously manipulate our decision. The term was developed by Richard Thaler and the Chase Sustain in a 2008 in their book named Nudge. Example of a nudge. As in a given diagram, we can see there's a burger, French fries, so many junk foods, pictures are given, and there in a just with it, there's food which is consist of the salads and some of the dips and some of the I think healthy options has been given. So a good example of choice architecture is the placement of the healthy snacks at the eye level of the shelf while you place the unhealthy item in the harder to reach place, close to the ground or a high up on the shelf. Ethical concern of a behavioral economics. Autonomy, freedom of choice. The first ethical premise is that the each nudge intervention must be easy to avoid. To qualify as a nudge, an intervention mechanism need to preserve the individual freedom of choice, interpreted as an absence of obstacle, barrier, or constraint. Then the second one is a transparency. A further opposition manifested toward the nudging is that the nudge may impose a lack of transparency by clouding the availability of options accessible at the moment of the decision and thereby endanger informed and free choice. The third one is the goal oriented justification. Nudge can be targeted as a three, not necessarily exclusive goals, selfish goal, or of the nudger, the pro-social social goal, and a pro-self nudgy driven goal. Economic nationalism. Economic nationalism is also known as economic patriotism and economic populism. It is an ideology that favors the state interventionism over the other market mechanisms, with the policies such as the domestic control of economic labor and a capital formation, including if this required the imposition of a tariff and the other restrictions of a movement of a labor, goods, and a capital. The core belief of economic nationalism is that economics should be served a nationalist goal. Economic nationalism oppose the globalization or least questions the benefit of unrestricted free trade. They favor protectionism and advocate for the self-sufficiency. Nature of economic nationalism. The first one is the integration and therefore the interdependency of economies. The complexity of a global economic market is all but impossible to separate by a nationality. The greater extensity of a world market is also but impossible to separate by the nationality. The redundancy of various model of economic nationalism. Have a contemporary cases in economic nationalism. So we have a few, certain, cases are being specified here, which is related to the economic nationalism. The first is a proposed takeover of Arcelor by the Mittal Steel. Then we have a French government listing of Danone as a strategic industries to the print of a potential takeover by a PepsiCo. Then we have a block takeover by the Auto Strait, an Italian toll road operated by a Spanish company. Then we have a proposed takeover of Endesa by a Eon and counterbid by a Gas Natural. The proposed takeover of a Suez France by a Enel and the counter bid by a Gaz de France. Then we have a United States congressional opposition but to take over a bid to the Anokal by a CNOOC, a PR China, and a subsequent takeover by the Chevron. Then political opposition in 2006 to sell port management business in six measures, the US seaport to Dubai port, world based in the UAE. The limit of a foreign participation and ownership in a Russian natural resource sector and selected Russia industry beginning in 2000. Now, the future of economic integration. The first one is a free trade. The tariff between the member countries are significantly reduced and some are abolished altogether. Then custom unions set common, external tariff amongst the member countries, implying that the same tariff are applied to the third country. A common trade, is achieved. Then a common market. The service and the capital are free to move within the member countries, expanding the scale economies and the comparative advantage. Then we have economic union. All tariff are removed for the trade between the member countries, creating a uniform market. Then the last one is a political union, represent the potentials what advanced form of a integration with the common government and where the sovereignty of a member country is significantly reduced. Sharing economy. The sharing economy is an economic model defined as a peer-to-peer based activity of acquiring, providing, or sharing access to the goods and the service that is often facilitated by the community-based online platform. The sharing economy often involves some type of online platform that connects buyer and the seller. The sharing economy is rapidly growing and evolving, but face a significant challenge in the form of regulatory uncertainty and concern about the abuses. Business model. An access based business model involves a paying to use a something rather than own it. Example of including the car leasing and the ride sharing for the consumer, leasing heavy machinery or the office furniture's light for the business. These model often environmental advantage as they encourage reduce a consumption and the use reuse of recycle of the goods. So we have a owner, seeker, and the platformer. So here when the owner, a sharing of the asset can be given to the seeker, and the service fee and the renting fees can be, you know, it will taken between the platform. So we have a new business model diagram in a given below regarding with the sharing economy. Like of a sharing economics, access instead of a ownership. Rather than buying an asset, the seeker rent is for from someone else. A platform bring together owners and seekers and facilitate all process between them. The business platform itself does not possess any asset on offer. Like Airbnb does not own a single room, Zipcar not a single car. Let's see the difference between the traditional business and the platform business. So in traditional business, they're serving one customer side. In a platform, we are serving at least two customer sides. Then we have end-to-end control of a 4PS. We are co-creating of a 4PS. The marketing as an internal function, open function enabling communities, push marketing, and in platform business we have a pull marketing. For platforms, we have a rental fashion, the shared workplace, the pet sitting, labor sharing, crowdfunding, peer-to-peer lending. For platforms, we have a rental fashion, the shared workplace, the pet sitting, labor sharing, crowdfunding, peer-to-peer lending. Creation of a future of a work. The sharing economy has again a taxation and the attention in the last few years. The consumer to consumer sharing and the peer to peer marketplace. The term sharing economy is used to describe a wide variety of exchange between the people, including the property, skill, labor, or space. By using an online platform to connect the user and provider, this system put a modern spin of old fashioned bartering, swapping, borrowing, and trading, and gently expand the scope of scale of a potential exchange. Student, I hope you like today's video. Please like and subscribe my channel. I'll try to post the more videos as soon as possible. Thank you so much.